Got it.
So welcome everybody. We're here with Nicholas. How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Sitarski.
Sitarski, Nicholas Sitarski. And I don't want to tell everyone your story, but basically you took our class and now you're a professional photographer. And
That's and, and
is
that's
that
my
the essence
story. It
of
was
it?
nice talking to you guys. Just,
Yeah. And thanks for being here.
yeah. Well, yeah, I took your guys' class. I'm pro now. Good luck. No. Yeah. So my name's Nicholas Sitarski. I'm based out of Riverside, California. Um, in 2019, I took the Photography Masterclass with Sam, Will, and Phil, and I knew I wanted to. I had already started getting some portrait clients in, but I knew I was seeing stuff on Instagram, seeing stuff on Pinterest, and I was like, how do I get that look, right? How do I want to do more, and actually I had done a lot of landscapes and back in the day, and then I wanted to get into cosplay, and
Oh,
I
cool.
wanted to, yeah, I wanted to learn lighting. I wanted to learn, how to use my camera. Like understand like what that M means on my camera and why it doesn't just do. And I found you guys on Udemy, and super glad I did. I loved, like I was saying, I loved that I could go at my own pace and
Yeah.
really practice real world, at that time. At that time I had a Canon what is it, G7X, I think it's called, a little point and shoot.
Yeah.
And yeah, doing everything I can there. And
Were you working full time at the same time, like and taking the class or
I was a full-time truck driver.
whoa. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
class A truck driver. I've been driving for about 5 years,
Okay.
and then before that I did other stuff. But yeah, no, I was driving, and I was coming up towards the end of the class, and I switched over to Sony. I watched you guys talk about gear, cameras, what cameras to get, and I was leaning towards Sony, and I like I was telling Sam, I got to, he somehow talked me into it. No, no, I got Sam's video of how to use your Sony camera, and so I went and purchased my first Sony 7 III, and uh, started doing some more client work, and then 2020 hit, and had a nice little fun ride there. Um, no, the pandemic hit, and
Ah,
my company actually, I had already started taking on some clients, some stuff. I was doing a lot of portrait stuff, family and maternity and stuff
how are
like that.
you how are you getting those? Was it just like friends of friends and like you just started
Yeah,
meeting like word of mouth kind of thing?
word of mouth. Yeah, word of mouth, and like working, reaching out to photographers in my area, and kind of assisting them, working with them, and then them be like, hey, I have this thing, I'm doing a wedding, so can you take this? I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and shooting it, and your guys' class, like, yep, I'm all learning manual. You guys, learning manual. We'll get more into that later, but no, it I started to I started to take more and more on, and my company, truck driving, actually is funny, but my company, they, I think it was May of last, or in May of 2020, they pulled us in and said, you know what, you guys were, because we're still a smaller company. COVID got the best of us. We got some people that have caught it, and we're no longer going to be a company. So
Wow, they completely shut down.
they completely shut down. And
Wow.
so it was go back to truck driving, doing about 65 hours a week, Monday through Saturday, or work 24, apparently 24/7. I didn't know that going into it, but um,
Yeah.
yeah, 24/7. I decided I was going to going pro with photography, take it more serious. I was getting more and more work, and trying to connect with people and vendors and stuff like that. And I had someone contact me about shooting a wedding, and I was like, yeah, sure, like, yeah, yeah,
Were
I'll
you
shoot your
nervous at
wedding.
all? Like, yeah, were you nervous about that? Or you're just like, I'm just gonna dive in and just go for it?
I was extremely nervous. I was watching your guys. I probably did the class like three more times. watching YouTube like crazy. And I come from a big family, a lot of weddings, a lot of wedding background, and I absolutely loved it. I shot their wedding, and I realized I love capturing love, and I love capturing candids, and so today, fast forward, I'm a professional wedding photographer, um, and I've been doing this now since 2020, so going on 3 years. I started June 2020 was my first wedding, so going a little over 3 years now, and since then I've maintained around 50 weddings, 55 weddings a year,
Whoa,
and
dude,
yeah.
that's a lot.
Oh, it is. It's too much. We'll talk about my goal here in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Well, my goal of that, cutting that down a little bit, but yeah, and so I'm coming up towards the end of this year, and I've actually did the bulk of those weddings the beginning of this year. So luckily, it's kind of calmed down a little bit, and come October, November is going to be pretty insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like your season is probably a little, because it's pretty hot out in Riverside during the summer, right? So I feel like your season's probably a little different than like in LA or like a summer place, right? Like your
Yeah.
season starts in November or October.
Yeah, so I do travel around. I do San Diego and Orange County. I do the beach, but it's still just as hot.
Yeah.
I do have a couple clients. I've done a couple weddings through the summer, and I did one about a month ago, and it was outside at 3 p.m. And I was yeah that was a hard day.
Well,
how just or I guess,
no, go
well, you have
ahead.
questions.
No,
We
Sam,
can.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. Yeah.
so I'm just curious. So like 2020, we're in 2022. We're not that far into this, and you have 55 weddings this year.
Yeah, that's quick.
What,
How'd you do
like,
that?
well, where were you at when you got that first wedding call? Like, were you very confident as a photographer, or were you, I'm gonna figure this out? Like, Will says I should get these 5 shots, I'll get these 5 shots. Like, how did that go? And then also, how the heck do you build to the point of having that many photographers? Like, what were your like 3 big things that like just got you a bunch of that? Because I for it's just the 4 of us right now. Colleen's here, but I think a big thing that a lot of the people in this community will be curious about, and what they'll, when they watch a replay, is like, how did you start that? Because for a lot of them, it's in that place that you probably were at when in 2020 of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but
Yeah.
how? So yeah.
Yeah. So so I had already had some client work, and where do I start? I definitely was too I definitely wasn't as ready as I thought I was, so I'll say that. I was way too confident for it being my first wedding, and luckily though it was a smaller backyard wedding because it was COVID, and we were doing it was more of like a secret wedding, and they were trying to be a little more hush hush, but it was still an 8 hour day, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I would recommend anybody out there, if you feel confident to do your first wedding and you haven't second shot for someone, or let alone know your camera as well as you think you do, I will tell you right now, watch the class on the manual section as much as you can. You're not as confident as you'll be in a couple of years, but yeah, so I was already taking on clients. I had some people see me. They found me on Instagram, and they were like, "Hey, we want to have this wedding. We don't see you have wedding work, but we like your other work. So we assume you do weddings." And I was like, "Yes, I do, right? Because why
Yes.
not, right?"
Yes.
And yes, and I was kind of already where I was leaning into. I know that I love doing events, and I was looking, I'm not going to lie, it looked like that's where the career to be, to make good money and be able to, survive and as a photographer. And because portraits are great, but when you first start out, you have your what am I thinking of? What you charge,
Your rates.
and my rates, and that could only get me so far. And I knew I wanted to build this more and more. And I will recommend everybody out there, and I'm sure we'll get more into this later, but if you, my situation was a little different, but it pushed me really hard. If you want to push yourself really hard, I would say, I guess, go in that direction. But definitely don't take it slow. Learn everything about being a business owner before being a photography owner or photography pro. You need to know how to interact with people. You need to know simple business stuff. How to organize your finances. Yeah, how to do taxes as a business owner, especially if you've been working a regular job for years. How to take on inquiries and different things like that. It took me a while to really learn that. 2020, I was doing paper contracts. And
at least you're doing contracts.
Yes, yeah, that is one thing. That is one thing that I was like, you know what? So I had a little experience in my workforce before I was a driver. I actually I worked in logistics for a company, and I did some leadership role, and I know what it's like when a company gets sued. And I knew one thing's for sure, that if I that this is art based, I'm for my own taste and opinion, opinions and stuff. And if you come across a lot of people with a lot of different opinions, a lot of different tastes in art, and I knew I was going to have my butt covered. So it basically went from, they kind of found me, they found some photos, they liked my style, and that, I would say, that's a real important one. They liked my style. They contacted me.
All Instagram or website as well?
This was Insta. I didn't have a website. And at this point, I didn't have a website for another like 6 months. Okay. And it was pretty hectic. but yeah, I kind of, I put that out there as like, for whatever people's opinions are, I was like, I'll be that photographer. I'll put myself out there for these people that want to have their weddings during a pandemic when we're supposed to be locked down. And it kind of blew up a little bit. And I started doing that more and more for these clients that had their big venues cancel and they're now in the backyard, or these people that, like in 2021, I had people that were supposed to get married in like March or April of 2020, and everything canceled on them. And now they're kind of just scrambling to put something together. They have photographers that were kind of, they were still afraid of going out and about. And so they had photographers canceling on them. And so I took those, and I did whatever I could. And but yeah, by that time I had built a website up, and followed the advice on the last videos of your guys' masterclass. But finally build a website. I actually built it through Wix, and the first time around, and I built my website. I just basically, I watched you guys. I did a lot of YouTube, like on Wix and different photography accounts, to like how they build their websites, and kind of match that a little bit. Sure. And slowly increased my pricing based off of what I felt was right. And then
great.
And yeah, it kind of just started taking off as far as how I get that many people. Today's a little more different. Back then it was definitely a lot of word of mouth. I started doing Yelp ads.
Interesting. Do you feel like those worked out for you? Like I feel like people are always asking me about that, like putting money into Yelp or Google or like, whatever.
So I think it's like $5 or $10 or something like that a day. And it's like a total of 500 a month. Or yeah, it's something like that, $5 a day or something like that. But you also have to pay for the professional account. But I'll tell you right now, if you have it set for that, I basically booked out all of 2021 on Yelp.
Wow.
yeah. Yelp is kind of where it was, where I'm not doing that now currently.
Yeah, sure. Just to start out, that you felt like that like really helped out. Yeah. So I feel like there are a lot of people who will be rewatching this in the group who are just starting out, and like I've never suggested that, but that sounds like it's working.
Yeah, I was getting basically about 70 inquiries a day. Yeah,
and you put yourself up there as a photography business doing wedding photos.
Yeah,
and your location was
Riverside.
Riverside, yeah, and I put myself out there as a wedding photographer. Yeah, photography only. And after that, I probably did 2021, I started Yelp and put myself out there, and I probably had a cool 150 maternity inquiries. So you know, and there are people, the families that are, oh, I'm going to get married, or yeah, I have a sister getting married, we're looking for a photographer, but I also want to get pictures of my maternity, you know, do my maternity, and that blew up too. And so I did a lot of maternity, family, and weddings 2021. But yeah, I did Instagram ads as well. I got some hits on that. Nothing as crazy as Yelp. I did another company who I'm salty towards, and I won't say their name. I paid a lot of money to put my wedding ad out there, and nothing came from that. And
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And you're locked in contract for a year, but I still won't say who they are. I'll just say Yelp is where it's at. At least it was. I actually stopped doing them a couple months back. Kind of slow it up. Plus, I built up my Google business account, and I think I have close to like 50 5-star reviews now. And I kind of reach out to past clients. I've been reaching out, getting more and more reviews, and since then I've just been getting a lot of what do they call that, cold calls from Google. So I'm getting a lot of direct inquiries without even having ads. So straight to my website. So but yeah, I started off with a lot of Instagram and Yelp. So yeah.
And today, I mean, you know what? I'm going to pull up your Instagram if I can figure out how to do this. Let's see. Can you guys see that?
Oh, here you go.
Yep. You see that?
I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. It's your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, today it feels like you're doing quite a bit, but I was noticing earlier, like a lot of these are reels.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to has that been a thing that you've been like able to like advertise through that, or is that how you get a lot more like attention now, or do you feel like that's helpful?
Yeah. So a lot of directs from Instagram as well, from posting reels, and I definitely hopped on that bandwagon. I was pretty, when you scroll down, you'll see more and more. I was pretty reserved on that. I was not going to do reels.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I do?
I feel that.
But then I figured, you know, I saw a lot of these people that were doing that were just putting their photos as reels, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do that too. And then since then I've been, every time I work with a client, I'll pull up my camera or my phone and just kind of do a quick little, hey, can you just say hi? Is it cool if I post you on Instagram? They're like, yeah, you know, and I'll show them a few of my reels. That I have one that has it's actually a graduation session, which is funny, but it has, I think it's around 30,000 views now, and over 700 likes. And that one has booked me a lot of that one came from that graduation session that I was talking about. And
you're connecting with all the younger generation on seeing that. Oh, what a nice photo of you. Look at
that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've never felt so much on the spot before.
I know. No. Sorry, I'm like looking at your photos. More people here. Some of these are very hard to do, man. Like this is a very difficult shot to achieve. And so, you know, good on you.
Yeah.
Really quick, just because I'm curious and I saw some of your hashtags. So you shoot Sony A7R III, but I saw that you have two cameras. You had one of those dual camera holders. So are you on two A7R IIIs?
So I had a Sony A7 III and a Sony A7R III, and I recently just sold my R3 and got another A7 III because I found that shooting about 1,000 photos on a 45 megapixel sensor wasn't that was not fun on my computer. Yeah. So I actually just got rid of the R3 and got another A7 III. I'm thinking next year, 2023, I'll probably upgrade I'll probably sell those and get a couple A7 IVs. But definitely with wedding or any professional work, I highly recommend at least having some sort of backup.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then
go Sam, go.
I was just gonna do a little bit of gear talk really quick.
No, let's do gear
What,
talk.
Yeah.
I want to do gear.
what are your preferred lenses? What are, you know, for weddings, what's your go-to?
Yeah,
We
what's
had
your
some
wedding
people
kit?
sort of, we had people talking about, like, you know, which lens to get next kind of thing, and it's like, so you're a prime guy, zoom guy, what's
Right.
your go-tos?
I'm mainly prime. And I do have the Sigma 24 to 70 art. But my preferred my preferred lenses are 35 and 85. So I use the Sigma 35 1.4 art lens and the 85 the Sony 85 1.8. And then I used to do just zooms, the 24 to 70 and the 7200.
But you realize
And
that primes are better.
Okay.
yeah.
Feels targeted.
I mean, except for when I did that concert the other day, that was
Yeah.
but yeah, no, well, yeah, so let me just pull. So yeah, no, I'm shooting on two of those, two Sony A7 IIIs, and that's actually my 85 right there on there.
Nice.
And
Is that the baddest?
no, this one is just the Sony the
Sony one.
E-mount.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I've had a few different ones actually. I had the I'm probably gonna upgrade this one to the Sigma 1.4, but I've had the Vil. I actually had a Viltrox 85 1.8 for a while, and dude, it was actually a really good lens. And then I had a what was it? The 85. It was it the Zeiss? Yeah, the Zeiss 1.8. And I ended up selling that. Basically, I wanted to buy another lens, and that one was worth a lot. And the Sony was $600. So I was like, let me give it a try. It's another 1.8.
Yeah, I've read a lot about that lens, and it's, I mean, you can't beat the price point. It's like,
Yeah,
works
yeah,
really well, and yeah.
yeah.
Will
No,
has
it's
the Sigma 85 1.4 that he really likes.
oh okay.
Yeah, and that's an L mount, but it's like really great. Like I really like that lens.
It's so small.
Yeah,
it's light and small. Yeah, and I use that for portraits when I'm shooting weddings too, for sure.
Yeah, I rented it, and I'm so in love with it, and I'm trying to be chill on my expenses because I have this one. Yeah, I have this one, and like for weddings, I've been trying to justify, like, you know, why do I get that one? Why do I need I've been doing a lot of more like as you probably saw on my Instagram, I'm kind of jumbled up. I just started a portrait page, and I'm probably going to start transferring everything over to my portrait page, and that's obviously portraits. I've had some clients tell me like, oh yeah, it's kind of messy, you know, you have weddings and then you have portraits, and then I've had some clients tell me like, oh my god, you do it all, right? So it kind of, again, it goes back to how people are. But
I'd love to talk about your portraits really quick. Like what lenses are you using on your portraits, and do you use the same for like a family versus like a single person?
Yeah, so with for families, I'm using that Sigma 35 1.8. I'll go out with, when it comes to portraits, I'll only take my few primes, and then I basically just kind of challenge myself with, you know, what look I want, because I used to just take my 24 to 70 out, and I would just kind of, you know, zoom accordingly, and I found myself with a lot of up close 24 millimeter pictures because I wasn't paying attention. And that's kind of why I've been doing a lot of primes lately, is just
here's your portraits.
Yeah. Well, oh, okay. Oh, it's my website.
Yeah, this is your website. Yeah,
I recognize this. Yeah, I've got some
great.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That like bokeh, the backlight. It looks like you're using your Godex too, right? Or your speed light on that.
That one is I'm pretty sure that was let me see what that was. Yeah, I think that was my Explore 600. So yeah, this is more of a cosplay shoot. Yeah, I kind of have it jumbled up right now on my website too. But yeah, some family.
They're all portraits, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think your website is probably optimized for a mobile phone too. I love this pose, by the way.
Thanks.
That's good. Yeah, so yeah, I guess your go-to would be like sort of that 35. Do you have a recommendation for people who are doing, I mean, I guess this is what I'm trying to get to, but There was a question earlier in our group about like feeling inspired about portrait photography. And you have so many interesting different like places and like positions and like cosplay stuff and like even like the way they're like looking or like places. Like, do you have a sort of like, do you have like a process for deciding like what creatively you're going to do, or is it like based on the subject, or like how do you keep that fresh and new for yourself?
So with clients, so okay, so to keep it with okay, I'm all wait.
I know
I'll
that was
start.
a big question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'll start with location. I have a lot of locations now that I've shot out now,
Oh,
but beforehand I kind of just went out with my camera and to go find interesting stuff. I recommend people to check out street photography. It doesn't even have to be of subjects, just architect, street, landscape. And so luckily I've been traveling around since I was a kid. I've been all over California and I've been in multiple states. So I have an idea as far as locations go. So if somebody hits me up and is like, yeah, I'm looking for like a moody desert photo, I'll tell them Joshua Tree, Joshua Tree, or if you want to go check out Calamus, look like they're on, somewhere in Star Wars. But, but I also, when I was going around, I wanted to know like what permits do I need? What, where can I shoot for free, or where can I get away with something? Or because anyone that goes, that starts doing this more and more with client work, they're going to learn that they need permits, they need permission, they need specific locations. They can't go into spots that are not trespassing. Clients that want to have bring confetti, you will get the ticket for that. So something to keep in mind. And at a lot of locations, I should say, sorry. At a lot of locations. So locations where it's not gonna be that big a deal, they're being more lenient, like, hey, just as long as you guys clean it up. I've been in a location one time where you can't put your light stand on the ground, or else it's like $1,000 fine.
oh
But
my
you can
gosh.
literally just hold, yeah.
As
So
long as you
and
can.
that's mainly at the beaches. So at a lot of beaches. So but I have those locations. I would go out and scout. I kind of have the luxury of being able to scout, with being able to do it full time. So I have some free time to do stuff. But I would say if you're available and you practice with your camera, you want to get an idea for location. That way, when somebody tells you, they were looking for a beautiful sunset, they want it to be foresty, you have what you want to create in your mind, and you've already been to a location. I would say make it a day, go, we all want those sunset photos. So go to a park that you saw on a website or something, like look it up, Google it, parks near you, go over there around sunset time or right before, check out where the sun's at. I also recommend for people to check out the app called Photo Pills. So you get to, yeah, yeah. So you get to see where the sun is real time and where it's going to be. And you get to plan it that way. Google parks and different, where popular photos taken and stuff like that. And then as far as I work with a lot of clients, so when I do get to work with like or do like a styled shoot, I have a lot of locations now, but clients actually help me, and usually it's a client shoot. So it's like, hey, we love this, we love that, this is, I always, whenever I interview my clients, I always ask them, like, what's special to you guys, where do you where was your guys' first date, or what kind of things are you into, like I had somebody tell me they're like super into hiking, so we went up to Crestline, and if anybody's been to Heart Rock Loop, because it's nothing, or Heart Rock Trail, but anyways, it's like a mile long. It's nothing crazy, but it's really pretty. And there's different types of locations. And I had been there with somebody else before, and so they told me they wanted headshots like that, and I knew exactly the what I wanted to kind of create. I presented them the idea of that, and they were like, oh yeah, like that's exactly what, or talking with them. But for the most part, it's client based, and it's usually, like I said, it's an interview with them. What are you guys looking for? What is your goal? What is your dream? Like, what do you what kind of photo. I'll allow clients to show me like, hey, we saw this on Pinterest or we saw this on Instagram, and and I would really love to get this photo done. I want, my fiance, he doesn't like photos, but I want him to do so. And I always, and so we, just that alone, personality, they're kind of goofy. They're, oh, sorry, I just saw the question on there. They're kind of goofy. They're fun, or they're more serious, a little more intimate, or they're into national park stuff, hiking, or I did one where the guy was into motorcycles, and so he wanted a portrait session with motorcycles. So just different stuff like that. And I myself, I'll kind of get like I did this and this and that, this person wants this, and I'm still stuck on that wedding I did, this last weekend. So I'll even Google or go on Instagram, check out hashtag, get inspiration, and just kind of practice with my camera.
Yeah.
Try to get that look. I saw that question about asking about wardrobe.
You provide guidelines for wardrobe style.
I do. So I will put out ideas, like say it's a maternity session. This is a big one. If it's a maternity session and they're wondering like what to wear, I'll recommend, depending on what they are. Like they want it to be kind of more of that where they're showing a lot more skin, like boudoir style maternity, like I'll give an idea for that. Or if they want it to be real conservative, I'll give an idea for that. One thing I do say though to pretty much all my clients, like unless they send me a picture and I see it's like a specific look for a photo, or like they're trying to recreate something, or it's like a real nice, I always tell them, don't try to keep the stripes away. Don't bring stripes. I have a lot of clients, especially clients that are insecure about their weight, and they feel like they're a little on the heavy side, and they'll come wearing stripes, and it just emphasizes that everything. So
like, here's the shape right here.
Yeah. Don't wear stripes. That's all I'll say is I tell my clients every time, they'll tell me, oh, well, I wanted to buy my son this nice stripe. Oh, okay. How old's your son? Oh, he's 15. And, oh, by the way, he's real insecure about his weight. And I'll tell them, it's going to emphasize it. He's going to feel, he or she will feel insecure about it. And the pictures, and it's just, I've had clients where they come and they're like super upset by their wardrobe, and they're this the whole shoot, like and I'm like, go ahead and smile, and they're doing the and it's like,
how much back and forth do you do? I mean, obviously it's person to person, but like will you you say you sort of send examples, or you ask them for examples, like do you do a good amount back and forth, or is it typically like they have what they have, so it's going to be pick a solid colored dress, or pick like, and you just sort of say that, and then depending on what they have, that's what they show up with, kind of thing?
So with my clients, like say like a wedding, or even portraits, families and stuff, especially families is a big one as far as like getting them to match or to be kind of closer, or their outfit. Basically, with my clients, I'll usually have 2 to 3 meetings prior to the shoot. Nice. And or the weddings, there's 3 meetings. Weddings, I'll have a consultation, and then a follow-up meeting, an engagement session are included in all my collections, and that's kind of our second meeting. And then we have a third meeting a month to a couple of weeks prior to the wedding, and to go over timeline, and we'll get in that too in a little bit. But I kind of build a timeline on HoneyBook for them, so I get to go on my phone and check the timeline.
HoneyBook,
and that's right. But yeah, I'll use that to to go over everything, have another follow-up on if anything's changed, or if their wardrobe's changed, or if there's going to be a surprise change, like wardrobe. Like I had one where there was like, she wanted to talk to me like off to the side, like her fiance away, and she was going to surprise him because she was wearing a black dress. So nice. She wanted something specifically done. So that's something, and then like with portrait sessions, I'll follow up, again, prior to the session, like, one, make sure that what happened to me a couple years ago doesn't happen, where I show up at a very far location and they forgot. So, but we'll have those quite, you know, if they come to me about wardrobe, you know, I'll send some ideas, and it's nothing too crazy. Like this is, I just say ask no stripes. You know, not from anything from my style, because you know, I've adapted where I can shoot anything, but you know, for them, you know, and then like depending on the style, you know, I'll take some, go on Pinterest or go on Google some stuff, send them screenshots, or if they're kind of already kind of up my alley, and I, you know, for the most part, I'll have like some ideas, or they'll even like, you know, like, yeah, we saw this picture, this is why we hired you, and I'll send them the entire gallery and give them an idea of like yeah, of what they should, you know, how they should dress, how they should you know, what to expect, you know, my posing and all that stuff like that. So like how I do that, and yeah, so
That's awesome.
uh
I'd be curious. I don't know if you have more to say about that, but I was thinking about like your post process too. Like, I feel like, do you feel like you have a specific style in your post process now, or are you like still looking for
yeah,
inspiration for that, or do you have like a presets that you use, or how do you handle that, just in a nutshell?
yeah, so my post process, I have a style, I have a select group of posing that I do. Select group. I have a some poses that I can do that I count on. You know, I my go tos, and it's fairly simple when it comes to couples. You know, specifically that's what I'm doing more of. I'll do the door hinge where they're, you know, they're together, and then we can go from there. Close, chest to chest. You know,
Nice.
stuff like that. And you know, something really simple. One for me, because I forget. And then, you know, I'm not working with professional models all the time. So,
Right.
you know, for the most part, when you have them doing their, you know, you have her doing this stuff and they're like, no, I'm not feeling it, you know, and then it starts getting awkward. So, so what I do, I have a select style. Now I've grown into that more. You probably see that like on my pictures. It's nothing too crazy. Same thing with grad session. You know, I have probably 5 poses, and I'll take 100 different photos of that. And then as far as editing goes, I use Lightroom and I use Photoshop, and then I've gone through I've bought in presets, and bought presets and bought presets and bought presets, and now I'm down to the Nicholas Sitarski preset. So so
Yes, the
yeah,
good ones.
yeah, because what everyone will learn, like at least even like a couple months down the road, they'll like, you know, they'll like my style, or they'll like, you know, Will or Sam's style, and they'll, you know, they'll want to buy the Will special, right? And so or the you know, they want to buy Sam's, they want to buy your preset, and they'll buy it, they'll apply it, they want to look like it. It's only a matter of time before you realize that's not really your style, you know, like
Right.
you want to find your style. I would say go into Lightroom, play with number one, go play with calibration in Lightroom. If you use Lightroom, you know, if you use something else, that's what I know. But you know, play with calibration first. You know, try to get your around the exposure you're looking for, depending on your style. Go to calibration, up those blues,
Yeah.
and yeah, my style is very natural. It's a natural, true to life, but I try to make it look, I would say, elegant, a little more on the fine art, but at the same time, my style, like my personal style, like my posing is more, you know, it's fun, it's easygoing, it's true to life, it's control candid. So
Control candid. I like that.
that's right. Yeah. Stand here, stand there, and now love like you mean it. She give me a smile. You hear the click, give me another pose with that, you know, and they're kind of doing their thing, and they get into their feel, you know, and then next thing you know, the pictures they love the most are the ones that I really did the least on. So you know, I get them to the starting point, and then kind of let them go, you know, and that's kind of my thing with wedding photography is, you know, you, ladies stand here, they all stand there. Okay, big smile, you know, traditional big, you know, everyone smiles. Now go ahead and somebody look at each other, somebody say something funny, you know, and then before you know it, they're just interacting, you know, have them laugh, you know, I'll do goofy stuff too. Like, ladies, go ahead and give me a, and next thing you know, like Will's laughing already.
I know, I'm already laughing.
yeah, everybody's happy. And, yeah, there you go. But no, I get everybody kind of going, I love fun. I love happy, I love, of course I can do the serious, stuff like that. But if you're gonna kind of hop all over the place, you need to know. But yeah, my post processing, I have my style now. I have my an idea of what I'm going to create for that, and then I will edit accordingly. And I've now created my own presets, my own look for that. So it's nothing crazy. I tried the real orange sepia look, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I noticed, like, I don't know, I can't do it. It doesn't fit my style. And I've tried light and airy, and I've tried, dark, all these different styles. And I just, I found, what really works for me. And that's how I edit it out. I get it edited. I have a set amount of photos that I will tell them, I'll give them like for like a portrait session, I'll tell them I'll give them 30 photos. It's very rare that I do 30 photos in an hour. I'm usually taking 200 to 300 photos, and I'll usually give them, anywhere from 80 to 100 photos, and let them get their surprise. And that's another reason why I get a lot of word of mouth, because I always over deliver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just looking through your website.
Did you say what you use for photo delivery to clients, or do you do like galleries for them to give you notes? Or
so for photo delivery, currently I use PixieSet, and I deliver on PixieSet my digitals. And as far as hard copies, I just started implementing custom USBs. So
nice.
I'll get I order on Etsy, and get their stuff engraved with like little wood box, and their name or their wedding date, send it out to them. And then I was delivering photo album books, and that's more of an a la carte now. I used to include it with all my stuff, and I've had these issues with these companies where they're backed up or something. So that's now an a la carte item. And so I'm doing PixieSet and USB, custom USBs.
Nice.
There was a picture I was looking for that you did for this wedding. There it is. This love. I love that. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That is all natural. That is just the light from the love. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm all pointing at my phone. Those two.
Yeah.
The portrait you have of the bride, or the woman in the white dress, in front of the vanity, and I think you turned one black and white, but like what you did with the lighting, I'm assuming it's a strobe. Like it's
like classic.
That one on the left. I mean, that one too, the reflection's great, but the black and white on the left there is just such a cool, I mean, almost, it's cinematic. Like it has that like
classic Hollywood
film. Yeah, it's just such a awesome shot. It's really cool. That was just one that stood out to me. I mean, these are all really wonderful. And this is also, like, we were talking about websites last week with students, and like something how you present yourself, how you showcase your work. And like we were like, do you show just a couple of photos? Do you do full things? And I think this is a great way to see, like, to really, like, here's one wedding and here's like all the photos that you're delivering, almost like, it's so much more than just like, here's 3 amazing photos. And at the same time, you do have that in a different way of sort of being able to scroll through all the various ones.
There it is.
Like this, which it's a great layout.
We were talking about a wedding. Oh, this is cool too. Or how you present yourself as a website, like, and immediately you have contact. Like that's the first thing that happens when you're scrolling down. And we were saying how that's like such a really great thing. And then there's a picture of you and about you, and then you can just kind of endlessly go through all these, as well as having the navigation at the top. I also thought it was interesting that you have an FAQ page. Well, this must be like the classic Nicholas Sitarski shot, looking into a vanity with the
Yep.
hard light coming through.
So you things that you're good at, like the champagne pop, the vanity photos, things that you're really, it's kind of something that you haven't, you know, that the client likes, and that you can create that, you haven't really seen other people attempt, kind of thing. You post what you want to take pictures of. So
There you go.
that's been my thing. So if I post some like insane photo that, I was like a once in a million life shot, and then you get a bride that wants that photo, it's like, oh, I can't deliver that.
I can't deliver that on time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll kind of discuss that with the brides too. A lot of times too, what I'll try to do, I will actually go to, I'll do, what is that called? The rehearsals. So if I'm available, I'll go down to the rehearsal and check out the venue, and see what I'm already get an idea for what, either tomorrow or next week, what I'm going to be doing, and am I going to be able to create that shot? And as far as that shot goes, if anybody's interested, I have the grid in my box, but that was I don't know if anybody can see me right now, but I was using a Godox 8200 Pro. Oh, there we go. I was using a Godox 8200 Pro, and I used MagMod on the Godox, or like the 200. I just had a grid on there, and I go where, so she's looking at say she's here, the mirror's here. I'll put it facing her, and I'll shoot into the mirror that way, and literally just pin the light. If it's not enough, I'll put another grid on there and just pin the light onto her face. And so yeah, she's here looking at the mirror, taking there, and then I'm over here taking the shot this way at the mirror.
Great.
And for that one specifically, I'll kind of make it dramatic, and I'll really bring down the ambient light, which is another thing, your ambient when using flash. But yeah, I'll bring down the ambient, kind of get a real moody look, so that she's really the brightest thing in the in the photo, and because that's it's the look I'm trying to get. It's spotlight on the bride. So
how did you obviously this is a larger discussion point, but like, how did you find your style, or like what has it just been you intuitively finding something that a look you like? Has it been through, I love this one photographer and I went out and mimicked that and then made it my own? Like what was sort of your like finding your style?
Yeah, I would say that is a big question. No, I would say it took a while, but it started there. It started with, I saw some photographers, I love their style, and I wanted to kind of recreate that. And something that people learn too, going back on the whole preset thing, your photos, the presets aren't going to look the same unless you're using the same exact lenses and settings they're using, and the same lighting that they had. So keep that in mind. But yeah, no, I there were some photographers that I absolutely loved, their styles, you two, and even Phil, like your guys' style, like I love Will's black and whites. I love your cinematic look, Sam. And you guys were all of you guys, and then other photographers out there, like wedding photographers that I was looking up. I was looking up for inspiration, and like really trying to, what I felt the most pulled to. Like I said, I saw some really fantastic, like that real trendy look right now, that like it's like an orange sepia look, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I would kind of recreate that, and it didn't tell the story that I was trying to tell. And when somebody really understands that, like if they go and use that look and it really tells their story, they're going to get it. Like, oh my God, like that, I'm telling my story. And I saw, by the way, I saw her comment. I was going to get at that, but like one of them, wedding photographer I really got into recently was Vanessa Joy, and I really enjoyed her natural look, because it's punchy without the colors being super saturated or really over the top with the light and airy stuff. And and I as far as techniques and stuff with natural light, I would watch a lot of John Branch, and then I would there's just so many. With studio, I would watch Robert Hall, you know, or check out like his Instagram and stuff like that. Well, there's just so many people. Like some of these, like the guy shots for guys, I would watch, like even Peter McKinnon, you know, and 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 all these people, and it just kind of a culmination of all of it. And I really, and even today I, you know, I just edited a gallery. I did a studio session. I actually did a meetup in Pomona, and I was kind of giving a tutorial too on how I use Studio Flash, and I edited the stuff, and I actually changed kind of my style on that edit. I basically like took my preset, changed the blues, changed the, you know, everything about it. And actually, let me see if I can get that over to you. I'll can send you my pixie set. But
yeah, you can put it in the chat there too if you want.
Okay, let me see right here.
I mean, I think that's like one of our main, like, I always feel like that's a question, is like finding your style. And it's like, I think you're always growing and changing. And even you, it sounds like, you know,
Yeah.
through that. So I guess like seeing your photos would help. We only have about 5 minutes left. And there was one question that was asked in our group that we haven't gotten a chance to ask you. And it's kind of a big one.
Okay.
So the question is, other than the style, what has been the biggest challenge in becoming a pro photographer? And which has been your favorite shot so far?
Oh, that's a favorite shot.
I don't know if you need to answer. That one's tough because I don't even know if I have a favorite shot. But like, I guess, yeah, like what has been the biggest challenge of going from, you know, zero to hero, sort of like, you know, just becoming a full-blown professional photographer?
Okay. I'm all okay. Well, yeah. Give me like the rest of the time we have to think about that. No, I would say the biggest challenge was definitely for me was um, allowing myself to get away from myself and what I the artist who I am, and try to become somebody else and try to have what they have, and try, you know, and then definitely gas your acquisition syndrome. That was a challenging one, but really trying to fine tune that. Find the artist I am out of, you know, like when you second shoot, big one for everyone. When you second shoot out there, or you assist, they're gonna want you to have their style. You know, that's just something you have to be ready for. Take the lesson, take the experience, understand their style, but don't take that. Don't just maybe use it to learn your what you like or what you want to do, or maybe like you learn your camera better. I will say that get away from manual, learn how to use. I mean, get into manual, get away from auto, and learn manual. Learn how to do your ISO, ISO, whoever, you know, if anybody cares about that. But learn that, learn your shutter speed, learn your aperture, learn your style, learn how to really control your camera. You watch YouTube to learn, but don't try to become, you know, be who you are. And that's something that in the beginning I was trying to be everybody else, and it took me a while to figure out how to get out of that, and get back to who I am, because, you know, you want to be as successful as the person that's local to you or that you watch on YouTube. You know, you want to hurry up and get successful fast, right? You know, especially when you're kind of pushed into it. It takes time. Relax, take your time at it, learn the different things. And I threw out some of the stuff like Honeybook, Pixie Set. I'm currently and now I'm on Squarespace for my website. Learn these things. Learn how to be a business owner. That's one more. Not really knowing what it was going to take to be a business owner, not knowing you're going to have to get a business license, a tax ID. You're going to have to do your taxes. You're going to have to save your miles and your you know, learn that stuff. Learn how to become a business owner. That's one thing that that almost hurt me in the beginning, because I almost forgot about a shoot. So I didn't, but learn a good system. I would say HoneyBook is freaking fantastic for that. You know, as far as going on your calendar and checking, or if you're not going to pay for that, you don't have the funds for that right now, create a system to remind you or to see what you have coming up, you know, and try to stay in contact with your clients. But yeah, no, I would say definitely it was being who I am, you know, reconnecting with who I am. And then as far as my favorite shot goes, well, damn, the one of me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't necessarily have a favorite shot, but if you go on my webs,
think about it and let us and get back to me, and I can post it in the group.
Yeah.
But what do you have one on your website you can think of right away?
I mean, if you go on my website,
or one that recently you've been really excited about, you know.
Yeah,
the top
I would
5.
say. Yeah, I would say. So there's a couple. I'll have to get back to you guys on that. But there's a couple. One of them is the champagne pop that I did. It's if you go on the homepage of my website and you scroll down.
Gabriel and Janine.
Yeah, Gabriel and Janine. And I would also say the one with that's worded wrong. I have to change that. But if you scroll up a little bit, don't worry about the name. I got to actually fix that apparently. But the one with Alex and Selena with the if you go back to my homepage, the one where they have the smoke and we're in Glamis, that's one of my favorite photos I've taken in a while. And also
that one, yeah.
And I don't have it posted, but on my Instagram page, if you go to my Instagram and you go to, I hope I actually have it. I might have it as a reel, which would be fun. But there's a picture I took of Alex and Selena, and let me see if it's right there.
That one.
Go to that first one. Yeah. And go ahead and go back real quick. Go out of that. Scroll down a little bit until you see them again. Keep going. Keep going. Not that one. Just keep going a little bit more. Okay, the not that one right there, but the one to the right. Go in and click that, and then go to the next picture.
Ooh.
That's one that, yeah, that's one that I've
I really like that one
right now. Yeah, I'll be making another post with that one coming up. I just haven't done that. I kind of threw that one on there, but
these are all great, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to select the one, but that one in particular, I'm really happy with right now.
Yeah, you should be. So, it's really good. I mean, you clearly got like a style going, and hardworking man over there, man. Like you've done a lot, and thank you for doing this for an hour. We'll probably put this up on replay for all of you in Photo and Friends Plus to watch, and I'll try and send it to you, Nicholas. And yeah, man, thanks again, and we hope to stay in touch and hopefully you know, see you out there, and maybe we'll have you back again, maybe at some point, and maybe talk about something a little bit more specific, because you have a lot to say, and it seems like you're a good teacher too. Maybe you should think about starting to teach stuff.
You know what, I would love that. And Sam, Will, thank you guys so much. Phil, when you watch this, thank you so much. You guys impacted me a lot with my photography career, and what you guys are doing is great. And I'm so honored to have done this, and again, still starstruck. Yeah, and I honestly, I've been leaning towards. I love teaching and helping people, and something different. If you're local in the area and you want to learn, I'm in Riverside, California. Hit me up, Riverside. Hit me up you can hit me up through my Instagram or my website. Send me a message, an email, or direct message. Let me know if you guys want to get together, and if you guys are. I'm sure you guys are nice and busy.
Absolutely.
But,
next time I got some more time in the South, I'll come by. I should have put my UC Riverside sweatshirt on.
But yeah, anytime.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.